White spent 12 years in Toyota's legal department, 2 years in charge of strategy for the company's e-business division, and 3 years in the information systems division, overseeing information risk management strategy, governance, policy, and training. Prior to joining Toyota in 1988, Andrea worked as an associate attorney handling real estate transactions at the law firm of Willett, McHouse, and Charles in Los Angeles. And if you want to read more about this phenomenal individual, she's obviously Andrea.
Thank you. So what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about embracing innovation through diversity. And this in the context of a leadership organization. So we're talking about diversity and inclusion, Latino talent, entrepreneurial spirit, and the immigrant perspective. We're talking about how we can work together to help define the future of America's leadership. Essentially, we're working on defining the future of America. So let's start with diversity and inclusion, and I know most of you are very familiar with these two terms. Toyota, within the Toyota organization, diversity is defined as a measure of the breadth of an organization along certain dimensions reflected in its associates, usually along the lines of nationality, gender, physical ability, race, and sexual orientation, etc. The primary challenge that I see in corporate America is that diversity itself, separated from inclusion, I'm going to talk about inclusion in just a second, but separated from inclusion, diversity itself, the place where there is a need still is anytime you go up the ladder. The further you go up the ladder, whether you're in public service, whether you're in corporate America, whatever, you go up that ladder, you see fewer and fewer people of color. You see fewer and fewer Latinos and Latinas, African Americans. So there's a lot of work to be done because diversity means at all levels, right? It's not just your entry-level people who have good diversity. You need them at all levels because the voices need to be heard at all levels. So the programs that we have at Toyota are very robust. I actually became what's called a diversity champion. To become a diversity champion, I had to go through 6 full days of training. It was 3 days separated by about 2 months. Actually, I did 3 days of training, a couple months, another 3 days of training. And I was asked to take the training. I was asked to do the leadership training. My boss came and said, there's this new program we're doing. We really would like to, nominate you to do this program. I said, oh, thank you, no, but I'm really busy. And so he came back to me later. He said, well, now did you think about it? I said, no, I'm not doing it because I'm too busy. He said, well, actually, we really need you to do it. We need you to step up and be a leader. And so I'm thinking, what did I do? Did I insult somebody? Did I, you know what, I'll bet, I know I had a conversation with so-and-so, I might have been a little harsh, and I got pretty sensitive. So I'm thinking it's me, right? It raised my consciousness level, and all of a sudden I started seeing things a little differently. And it really has helped, not just in how I manage my own behavior, but how I lead. And that was the critical part of the training. Okay, so I carry this card around with me all the time. It was given out in connection with this training, and it is the 11 behaviors for inclusion. And I'm just going to read a couple to you. Create a sense of safety for yourself and your team members. Address misunderstandings and resolve disagreements. Communicate clearly, directly, and honestly. Speak up when people are being excluded. Speak up when people are being excluded. That means you have to know who's being excluded. Be brave. So those are a few of them. This is a little bit goofy, carry something like this around with you, but when your organization is still in the process of internalizing some of these behaviors, this is critical. It's like, okay, wait a minute. All right. Be great, be great, be great, be great. So that's what I'm doing right now. All right, so in addition to being a trained D&I champion, I'm also on the advisory council of DOLOS, which is Toyota Organization for the Development of Latinos. It's one of 5 ERGs. In Toyota, we don't call it an ERG, we call it a business partnering group. We're going to be talking a little bit more about ERGs in the plenary panel later, so I won't go into too much detail. But it has been a very, it's been a passion of mine, the work that I do with that group, and I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish with regard to supporting the business, but also supplementing what we're looking for. I thought I would tell you a little bit about why Toyota has such a robust D&I program. At Toyota, diversity and inclusion is actually part of something bigger, a philosophy called the Toyota Way. And I know some of you have probably heard about it, some of you may have actually read Jeff Leiker's book. There's a lot of material about the Toyota Way. The Toyota Way is essentially composed of 2 pillars. The pillars of Kaizen, which is a Japanese word for continuous improvement, and the respect for people. Clearly, diversity and inclusion comes under the pillar part of the foundation. But those 2 things, the key to the success of the Toyota Way is those 2 pillars need to be equally valued, equally supported, because it is only when you are respecting your people and giving them a safe place where they can bring their whole selves, where they will bring their ideas, they will bring their experience, they will bring their background, and that's what you want, because that's what causes innovation. That's where the creativity comes from. Because innovation doesn't happen in a vacuum. New business models aren't created by machines, at least not yet. So you really need to have an engaged workforce in order to maximize your to come up with those solutions to problems. And believe me, we've been doing a lot of problem solving lately. More than ever, the country needs new business models, effective problem solving, creative programs that can help jumpstart and sustain our economy. So now we're at the crux of the conversation. Diversity and inclusion is no longer a nice to have. It has become a business imperative. Successful implementation of D&I programs is now viewed as an integral part of overarching sustainability. I would propose that sustainability should extend into the entire area of integrity, both personal and business integrity. Organizations should be considering, as part of their core business objectives, how they can conduct themselves with honesty, fairness, equity, transparency, while at the same time finding ways to significantly improve people's lives and the environment for future generations. I'm going to pull this quote from Glenn's book. We should live and labor in our time that what came to us as seed may go to the next generation as blossom, and what came to us as blossom may go to them as fruit. We stand at a crossroads of opportunity. It is a critical time in the United States. We are in a deep recession that seems to be, kind of sucking the hope out of people. The Latin community has been hit particularly hard. And to add salt to the wounds, we now have states that are passing questionable laws that target ground-seeking people, regardless of whether good law-abiding people, regardless of whether they are beneficially contributing to the local economies. We stand at a crossroads. And as is the case with the position at a crossroads, we need to choose the direction. So let's choose to be part of the solution and not part of the problem.